that we had the right Zoom link in there, because lots of times what I'll do is I'll go live and then forget that I had the Zoom link, and it's all
Yes, I
weird and
know.
stuff like that. So yeah, anyways, cool. Welcome everybody. Okay, we're just gonna do this, and we should also record today too.
So let me know real quick, anybody who's here, or there's quite a few of you guys catching the replays, which we get. It's busy, life is busy. Have you guys made it through our first call that we did on Monday? And have you created yourself a money map for March yet? And feel free to unmute yourself too. Like, I'm here to have a conversation, not to just talk
Um,
to a computer screen.
Yeah.
I attended the call. I can't remember, was it yesterday or
I
Monday?
think you were maybe on the tech call yesterday with Jay. We did a kickoff call to this challenge on Monday, which was all about mindset and creating your money map and starting to plan for how you're going to add an additional 3K recurring revenue to your agency.
Yeah, and it's whether that's your first 3K or your next 3K or whatever. And we kept the bar low for it, definitely, to get out there and get more customers, because we can definitely sell high level for higher amounts than $300 a month. But I mean, lots of people, even high level, recommends the 97, 297, and 497 or whatever. But there's lots of people selling it for 697, 750. And depends on what services you're offering out there. It just depends on what your niche is and who you're going after, because I mean, we routinely sell services for a lot more than that as well. So, yeah, Shan, did you have what do you call it, like our objective for today, what we wanted to cover?
Okay, so number one, I'm going to create a page that anybody who registers for this 21-day challenge can go to. And I will put all of our replays on that page, so it's easy to go and find any of the things that we talk about throughout the next 3 weeks here, as well as links to different resources that we're going to start releasing. So Monday, we went through the money map. Pretty basic, just a really good reminder around your mindset of things, right? Today, we're going to talk about your sales system. We're going to share with you, Jason's going to go through the prospecting tool inside of High Level and show you how he uses that. I'm going to share with you guys a spreadsheet that I've been using now for over 10 years inside of our agency to go and find new perfect customers for our agency, and where I keep track of all types of different things as it pertains to that. I'm going to share that with you today. Then we're going to share with you messages that we use to send out and to start the conversation with business owners, so that you can just take those, swipe them, edit them however you want, and just start reaching out to a lot of people. I did something today. Again, I'm a pen and paper kind of a girl, just thinking about, and again, comment in the comments on Facebook, comment inside of chat here if you want to. I'd love to hear, are you just starting out in your agency? Do you already have an existing agency with quite a few clients on your roster? Do you have a team? Like, the more we know about you guys, the better we can tailor all of this stuff to you. So let me know in the comments, but I just wanted to talk really quickly about the life of a digital marketing agency owner, what that looks like, and why we love, number one, High Level altogether, selling that, as well as the tools that Jason has built that will set us apart from all the hundreds of thousands of people out there just trying to sell reviews or just trying to sell customer database reactivation. We're able to now sell a lot of really special things that Jason has built. So we start off as an agency owner, or we have an agency that's already existing, whatever the case may be. Outreach is the number one thing. That's what we're going to talk about today, and that's what we're going to keep talking about. We're just going to keep adding new tools such as demos that you can take and use, all that more niche specific snapshots that we're going to release all the way up until the end of March here. So outreach, we reach out to a ton of people. Let's remember, business owners are busy. They're busy running their business. Usually they're technicians inside of their business doing what it is that they need to do to make, to bring money in, right? We need to remember that. So we can't just reach out one time. We could, but a lot of times that's not going to start a conversation. So outreach, that's great. We pop into places, we leave cards, we go to networking things, we call people, we pick up the phone, we send messages out on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever. And then we feel like we've done so much work, right? But we're not following up. So I think that's a really important thing to think about is your follow-up system, right? That's something that we're preaching with high level to these businesses, but are we doing that in our agency effectively, right? Are we setting up a way for you to remember 3 days from now to go and follow up on that message and make sure that, you know, you continue that conversation? So then you get a meeting, you get a call, whatever, and now it's time to send out a proposal. And I know from doing this for so long that that is another thing where we can get stuck with spending days coming up with like this special proposal for this business, right? And then we send that. And then maybe it's crickets because that proposal is way too overwhelming for the business owner to even comprehend, because holy fuck. Or they're too busy. So maybe they see it and then they carry on, and it's not an urgent thing for them to get to, right? So then we're back at following up. I've reached out to, I can't even, thousands and thousands of businesses. There's conversations that I'm having right now with restaurant franchise owners. That's kind of what I'm trying to go after because I'm used to working with franchises. It's a long conversation, right? So while that's happening, we have to continue doing outreach. Now this business comes to you and they say, that sounds great, but I need lead generation. I need business now. So can you run ads for me? Can you do Facebook ads? Sure. Can you do Google ads? Yeah. Can you do SEO? Fuck yeah. Can you build me a website? My website sucks. Yeah. Then next thing you know, you're saying yes to everything, right? Give me like a thumbs up or like a yeah, if you've been there and you've been like, okay, yeah, man, I'm the yes man. I'll do everything that you want. How much? Well, how much can you spend? Like, doesn't even matter at that point because you're like offering all these things to all these different people. Then you're onboarding, but like, how do you even, where do you even begin? So now it's like a slow onboarding process. It takes always way longer than what we think to onboard any business, doesn't matter how organized you are. And now because we're onboarding so many different types of businesses and offering so many different types of services, it's really hard to get a system together that's repetitive and quick and easy, right? And so then there's a lack of clear expectations. And so even if we start off saying pitching reviews, pitching a reward system, pitching a referral system, we're now doing all these other things. And then the urgent emails are coming in at midnight from these business owners because there's a typo on a Google ad or on a Facebook ad, or an email didn't go out that they wanted to go out, or you sent that customer database reactivation campaign, but I actually don't want to give that offer anymore, right? Like all of that stuff starts to happen. And then we also start to revert back to listening to the business owner and just doing what they want instead of doing what we initially reached out to say that we were going to do. We're going to do something different for these business owners that is not normal. And that is what's going to set them apart from their competition, right? That's what's going to help them stand out. really good example of this is a restaurant that we onboarded in our agency in December. Initially, we were going to drive traffic using the system that Jason built for restaurants for a
Restaurant
free
rewards, yep. And
appetizer.
promotions.
Right, for a free appetizer. So we got everything set up, everything's going good. Leads are cranking. Like I think I spent $7 and they had something like 30 leads come in, like within an hour. The owner of the restaurant called and said, you need to shut that off. The kitchen manager just saw this ad and now we're freaking out. We can't give away free appetizers. So now we've reverted back to what that business wants versus what we initially promised, right? But now they still expect the same results, but we're not doing the same offer. I'm running ads for a med spa. Same thing. In Q4 of last year, we were running ads for 20% off any service to get people in. Now we're running ads 5% off for only new patients, and they're bitching at me because their leads are now costing them $50 per lead. They're only getting a couple leads a day, whatever. And I'm like, well, you guys, we're not offering anything, right? And so we're losing control because we're too busy and we're kind of like, yeah, okay, fine, I'll do it, right? So then what happens? They decide they don't want to run ads anymore because they're not working. Or maybe they are working really well, but I haven't sent out weekly reporting to let them know that they're working really well, right? I haven't stayed in front of them to tell them what else they could be doing. And on and on and on and on and on. And then here we are back at the top at outreach again, right? And so our goal here, realistically, over the next few weeks is to help you sell high level, but pick one thing. Like
a sticky thing, something that's sticky and that's going to keep
thing.
customers sticking around.
You know, pick one thing, get really good at that one thing, get really well known for being the go-to person in your area who does like helps you implement an amazing referral system in your business, right? Because that is something that you can easily pitch. You can easily give a demo. You can easily create social media posts around. You can easily talk about over and over and onboard over and over because you're not, we run in multiple niches and areas because we've been doing this for a really long time, but I still don't recommend anybody does it. So Jason built the restaurant snapshot using the full like loyalty rewards promotion system that he built. So we're going to talk about that a lot. And I think it's really important to just choose one type of business right now. Like as it relates to restaurants, right? It could be cafes, it could be a bakery, it could be a pub, it could be like a family-friendly restaurant, it could be a nightclub. You want to be a nightclub person. Who do you want to talk to over and over and over and over again? When those questions start coming in and when those conversations start, who can you talk to nonstop? If you can talk about something all day long, what would it be? For me, it's customer service. For me, it's like providing the best, most ultimate customer experience possible. And I think that comes from my background as a salon owner, right? And making people feel amazing. So I want to kick things off that way and just say, we would really like to see you reaching out to other businesses in your area. You know, it's one thing to start running ads and to start doing all this cold outreach across the world, but why not work in your neighborhood? Like, and really see that smile from that business owner when they see these really quick results that we're going to provide, right?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about that? Jay, you can add to that if you want. And I'm going to take a look at comments and stuff like that. And then what if we go into the prospecting tool first? Does that sound good?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, sweet.
So one of the things that I love about high level and some of the tools that we built in it as well is that we're trying to make things as sticky as possible. And whenever you get into a time of like how we are right now, they're saying there's a recession and things are costing more and it's harder to get customers, especially when you're looking at like restaurants and stuff like that. People aren't going out and spending as much money as they used to. They're a little more wary to go out. So how can we reach out to those customers and really get one of the things we've always found is that when somebody has a hard time in their business, one of the first things they want to cut is their marketing and their outreach. So what can we do for them that is going to get them tied to us that we can continue keeping them as a customer going forward, so they're not just like, hey, we're going to drop off, we've had so many weird things happen with running ads. Like Chandel said, people cut their ads, they change their offers, things aren't working like that, they're not listening anymore. They're going through a divorce, something happens personally, and or something happens weird with their business, and they decide that they're going to cut services. Or even if we're running ads, for example, because that's what we do, that's our bread and butter basically, is that we run ads for our customers. And one of the things we built, and the reason why we built this loyalty and promotion system for the clients that we work with, is that it's a really easy way to be able to run those ads, get those customers in, and then make sure that we're following up with the customers there. And then we've also built it really easily so that our customers now, whether they're a hair salon, restaurant, bakery, whatever, can create promotions and easily send those promotions out to customers and reward those customers for sticking around. So that's one of the reasons why we built that whole system. And now one of the things we want to talk about today is how are we going to go out and find those customers, and what can we do to go out and get local customers? And it doesn't have to be difficult, but definitely it can seem scary if it's not something that you're used to, reaching out to customers, reaching out to potential customers, walking in the door and talking to someone, trying to find the boss or who to talk to. It can seem scary if we haven't done it for a long time, or if we've never done it. One of the things I know with when owning our hair salons was one of Shan's pet peeves was when customers or salespeople from radio or newspaper or whatever, they would come in and they would be like, they'd be waiting there for Chandel to be done with her client and then want to talk with her about selling her on some marketing stuff. Now it annoyed her, but the thing is, they would sit around, they would be patient, and they knew that if they waited around long enough, they'd get her attention. And she bought stuff, right? She'd sign up for radio ads. She'd sign up for, we're putting an ad in this thing, we're putting an ad in that thing. Because as one of these business owners, whether it's a hair salon or like a brewery, bakery, whatever, a lot of time they're just stuck in the weeds, just trying to get through the day, making the things happen, right? Making sure that orders are filled and clients are happy and all that kind of stuff. And they're not necessarily thinking about how are they going to market their business, or how they know that they want to bring in more customers, but they're not even sure exactly how they're going to go and do that. So when somebody is standing there saying, hey, I have a solution for you, they'll jump at it. You're more likely to talk to them, but you need to be patient and you need to be willing to put yourself out there and look like a fool sometimes, because you're standing there wanting to talk to those customers or get the attention of those people. But what I found from doing it, and this is the stuff that's in our head, is we think that's going to happen, but almost for most of the time when I walk into a business and I go to talk to somebody there, I get a good reception. They want to talk to you. It's rare that we end up talking to somebody and they're like, no, I don't want to talk to you at all. And then that's definitely happened. That's definitely happened. There was a brewery we were talking with. The owner was standing there and she's like, I will not talk to you about marketing stuff. You have to go talk to this person. But then that person wouldn't talk to me either. So it was just like, it was a weird thing. And I'm like, you're standing right here. I just want to give you a quick demo. This other person in your business said they really love what we're doing, but she needs to get your approval, but you won't talk to us. And it was just a weird thing. But they also said they weren't willing to spend any money on marketing at all. Even though they were like growing their business and doing a bunch of other stuff. So you're going to find businesses that are out there who are just not willing to spend money on marketing. They don't see it as an investment, right? They don't see it as an investment that you're going to help them increase their business. They see it as an expense, and they just have the wrong mindset themselves. But then you are going to run into businesses who love the idea of marketing. They know they need to do marketing. They know they need new customers. They're willing to spend money to get customers. And some of the best ways that I found locally to go and do that is, and Shan will talk about this as well, is watch what's happening on social media. If you see local businesses running ads to get new customers in, it doesn't hurt. We've gotten a number of clients from that by reaching out to customers who are already running ads and then offering them our service or pitching our service. So one of the ways that we did this, and I got a number of breweries on our system from this, is I would see their ads come up in Facebook. So I would click on it, go through, register, do all that kind of stuff. Now we have a website called oklocal.ca, and this is kind of a directory website that we use for the area that we live. Now you don't even have to have this, but one of the things we also have with this is that we do social media posting for ourselves, for OK Local. We're promoting our local community. And by doing that, we have an Instagram feed. And through that Instagram feed, all we really do is reshare posts from other businesses who are posting things. Chandel will go out there, and we have other people on our team too who will do it. They'll go find people, they will friend them, and then they will share the post on ours so we grow our following and stuff like that. Our following is not huge on that, but what I've done is, because we have a bit of a following and we just really have the Instagram page and stuff on there, when I see a business running ads in our niche that we want to target, I literally just message them and I said, hey guys, thanks so much for the offer. So this one was a pizza offer from a local brewery. I said, hey guys, thanks so much for the pizza offer. I have a quick question. We run OK Local, and I was wondering if this is something we can share. Who might I be able to talk to about that? Like, it was the day or the next day. Yeah, the next day, somebody messaged me, says, reach out to this person. This is the marketing person. Here's their email. If you want to get in touch with them, talk to them about this. And if you have any other marketing stuff or promotions you want to talk about, talk to this person. Awesome. Thank you so much. I sent them an email right away that said, hey, I was just talking to this. I was told to talk to you about this thing that we're doing. And I'd love to come and show you some of the other things that we're doing in order to get customers, it's our SMS thing. So how we can get customers to come in and stick around and all that kind of stuff. So they were, a number of times they have been like, yeah, that's awesome. Share that out for us, because you're doing something for them. It's a little bit of a, tit for tat. You give me something, I'll give you something, because the law of reciprocation hey, I'm going to do something for you. So, hey, do you have like 15 minutes on Thursday for me to come by and I can give you a demo of this cool system that we've been working on? And that's worked a number of times. So I would recommend trying that for local businesses as well. I've started this document here with a number of different outreach messages and things that we've put together. These are ones here that I've been sending out lately just via email from our personal account or through their contact card or their contact page on their website. And we'll continue to put more things in here as we use them. Now, it's important to remember, when you're doing any of this, anything in marketing, anything running a business, everything is a test. I always like to say this. Everything is a test. So nothing is set in stone. We're going to do something. We're going to test it. We're going to see if it works. And then if it works, we're going to do it again. If it doesn't work, we're going to move on. Right. But you have to come in with that mindset that everything you do in here is a test because if you're like putting so much, it goes back to what we talked about on Monday about taking the emotion out of things. If you come in with the idea that everything is a test, then you can take the emotion out of it because you're like, hey, we're going to test this and see what happens, right? It's an experiment. We don't know what's going to happen. But we're going to try it. We're going to try it over and over again and see what happens there. So one of the ways I recommend is if you're on social media and you see somebody running ads for the niche that you're in, feel free to reach out to them. Feel free to say, hey, can I share this? Even if you don't have an Instagram thing. I don't think I've ever had anybody, I think once I had somebody ask me how many followers we have. And it was like, we just want to share this for you for free. Like we're not asking for money to share this. We're just like, we're just doing this for free. So whatever. But I think everybody's been like, absolutely, of course you can share this. This is an ad we're running. We want to get more customers, share this out for us. And we have that OK Local brand. And it's easy to make an Instagram account like that. And then you can share out stuff for local customers that way. And that comes back to one of the things that we used to do at the hair salon too. We always used to send our stylists out to go to local businesses in the area and hand out their cards at that local business because we wanted them to share out what we do as well. So it just comes back to that. We would give them free stuff and then they would give us, shout outs and referrals and all that kind of stuff too. So building up relationships with other businesses in your community is a great way to go. Now, there's a couple, I don't know if you guys have ever been into the prospecting tool in High Level, but it works pretty well. And I mean, we've used another system called Leads Gorilla for a long time, but this is almost identical, really, now that I've gone through this more and the updates that they've done with the prospecting tool. So in the back end of High Level here, we have prospecting, and you can see different prospects we have in here, but it's really simple to go into add a prospect. So from prospecting tool, click on add a prospect, and then you can look up any industry in your local area. So I can go breweries, Kelowna, BC right there. So I can do that. This is going to bring up all the breweries in our area here. And then it's going to give me a list of all those ones here. So now we can go through this list. It's going to actually give you like whether it's their Google My Business is claimed, the WordPress, and then it'll give you like an estimated conversion rate of whether you're going to be able to convert that customer. So there's a couple on here that we have converted to our customers, and then there's more that I want to reach out to as well. So that's one of the things that we've been doing with this challenge is it's not just a challenge for you guys, it's a challenge for us to reach out to more customers and do exactly what we're talking about here. So when you come in here, you can click on any one of these things, click on any one of these businesses. It'll give you the business name, phone number, their address, and everything like that. Now you can save it if you want. We don't have a point of contact for that business, but there is definitely different ways that you can go and find that out. You can just even go to their website and find out who like the manager is. But if you're sending out a message either to their social media or just walking in, here's one of the things, and I did this the other day. On Sunday, we were in Kamloops for a hockey tournament, and we were at a restaurant. I really liked the place. It was kind of like this cafeteria style establishment. They had like 5 different vendors. It was really, really neat. I just went up to the manager and I said, hey, I actually asked one of the staff, who can I talk to about marketing? And I've done this dozens of times. We're at a restaurant, we're having lunch. It's a great place. I like this place. Talk to the server. Hey, who can I talk to about marketing? We do restaurant marketing. I'd love to talk to somebody about working with you guys or restaurant marketing. Who can I talk to here? And like every single time, they will give you the name, phone number, email of the person that you should talk to about restaurant marketing. And sometimes that person is already in the building. And now when we're in the building, we stop in. And what I usually do is I usually say, hey, my name is Jason Orban. Nice to meet you. We do restaurant marketing. I love this place. I would love to chat with you guys about some of the stuff that we're doing. We've got a really cool loyalty and rewards and promotion system that I think would be great for this place to help you guys build like your own audience of loyal fans and get them to keep coming in again and again. I would love to just set up a time to come back and chat with you because usually they're busy and sometimes people get flustered about getting stopped right in the middle of what they're doing to try and pitch them on something. So I'm sure you guys have been there where people are sending you messages or talking to you, cold calls, whatever. I don't know how often cold calls work, just especially like telemarketers and stuff like that. But that's what I usually do is I usually go in and then I set up a meeting saying, hey, that's awesome. I'll reach out to you or, I'll come back in on Monday or something Monday before 11. And lots of times before 11, especially with restaurants and those types of businesses, they're not too busy, especially if they're getting ready for their lunch crowd kind of thing. The managers are there earlier in the morning and you can get in and chat with them there. So that's what I would normally do. Now, what you can also do is if you want to do more stuff, you can print off one of these proposals or one of these reports inside of the prospector here. So you can save the project. And then when you save the project, you can go back and you can generate a report. It does take a few minutes. Oh, there we go. It's generating the report right there. So it'll take a few minutes. It'll go through, it'll analyze their online stuff according to whatever high level puts together. And then you could bring that in with you. It's fine. It works okay. It's not like the best thing. What I found as to be the best thing so far, and we'll talk about this more in depth, is give people a demo. Because the system is set up for SMS and opting in and stuff like that, you can have a QR code on your phone, get them to scan the QR code, get them to opt in, get them to go through the whole process of becoming a customer and show them what that looks like. And every time that we've sold this, I've done that. It's really simple. They get the concept. It's like, this is easy. I really, really like it. How do I sign up? So that is one of the ways that I would go through either using social media or stopping in to a business, or if it's a place that we've gone for lunch, that's what I like to do. I've talked with a lot of other sales guys, and I'm going to try and bring on another guy that I know is really, really good at sales, and maybe he can give us a chat and some tips later on during this challenge as well. But just walking in, he used to go, he was telling me a story of what he used to do. He used to go around to all the businesses. He would take his phone. He would be outside. He'd be like, hey, this is Mike, your local marketing guy. I'm out here at this business and I'm going to walk in and talk to the owner. And then he'd go in and he'd be like, hey, is the boss man around? And then somebody would come out and then he'd be like, okay, cool. This is what we're doing. And then he'd talk to them online, record a little thing for them and just kind of do a promo and give their business a shout out. But then that gives you an in to talk to them about their business as well. Now you have to be a very outgoing person in order to go and do that, but it's kind of a fun way to go and do it. Now, I've also heard people saying like walking into a place and saying, hey, is the boss man around? And just by saying that, people assume it's a way to get past the gatekeeper. Hey, is the boss man around? Is a way to get past a gatekeeper because they assume that you're already friends with the boss man kind of thing, rather than hey, is the owner around, or that kind of thing. So it's just being more friendly that way. And whenever we go in, I love to be super conversational, really just chill about it, not trying to be formal. Your heart might be racing when you do it, but the more you do it, the more comfortable you get and the easier it becomes. So I don't know if anybody has any questions about using the prospector tool or any ideas. Courtney wrote, the problem I run into with restaurants is that people have owner on their profile, but after I build a list of 40 people, I find out only 7 of them are actually still open. Have you ran into this issue? If so, have you found a workaround to get more quality leads? Again, this whole thing that we're doing here is about finding local businesses and getting in and going to talk to those customers. So messaging them on social media, that has worked really well in the past, especially when they're running ads. That they're open because they're running ads and they're looking for customers, right? They're looking for ways to get the word out about their business. So that's always a good way to go. And then,
Could I just add to this,
yeah,
Jay?
absolutely.
You said earlier there, and I think this is a really important point, is when you are sending out cold messages on like via email,
Yeah.
social media, whatever, don't assume that the person running their social media is the owner of that business. Usually
No,
they're not. Usually
no,
they've
they're
got
not.
somebody else doing that for them. So it is just really important to ask, like, who is the decision maker that I could speak to about sharing your promotion that you have going on?
That's, you know, that's way
Stuff
more
like
formal
that.
than I
Who's the
would put
person
it.
that I
And
could
it,
talk to about, like, lots of times I'll reach out and say, hey, I would like to buy some gift cards from your business and use them to grow my business. Okay, local. Who would I speak to make sure that that's okay?
yeah,
Who's the decision maker here? And that's another important part too, is when you are in a meeting of any sort, right? It's like, are you the key decision maker in this business? Because if I'm talking to you and you're going to have to say, oh, okay, well, this all sounds great, but I'm going to have to go and chat with my business partner now, or partners. A lot of restaurants have multiple partners involved, right? And or any business, really, a lot of them do. So okay, that's cool. What do you feel like confident to take this information to that other business partner of yours, or your wife or your husband or whatever it may be? What questions do you think they may have that I can answer for you now? Or is there a time I could just get you both together in a meeting?
yeah.
Because it's those things. Yeah.
I can't over the last like 15 years, 20 years that we've been doing this, I can't count the number of times that we reached out to people and then they're like, yeah, I definitely want to talk to you about doing all this stuff. And then you go in, you have an hour-long meeting with them and you're like, okay, cool. What do you think? Well, I can't make a decision, you know? I can't make a
It's just like
decision. I have to bring
I
this
need to
back to
talk to
the
somebody
owner
else.
and
Hmm.
see if it's something that they'd be interested in.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the manager or whatever who you're talking to is pumped and excited about it, but then you're relying on them to go and relay your information, and it's like playing telephone with that person. They don't know your system or what you're doing or what you're proposing as well as you do. So it's important that, like Courtney said, getting in touch with the owner, getting in touch with a decision maker, like Chandel said, um, and knowing that. So setting up an appointment with the manager, cool. I'd love to come back and chat with you, find out if they are the person, if they are the decision maker, or if they're going to have another person involved. And it's really just a simple question of um
Yeah.
like, do we need to have the owner, like if I pitch it to you, if I tell you about it kind of thing, can you make a decision about it, or do we need to have like an owner involved as well with it? Because sometimes it happens and you get into weird situations where you do have a manager, but the manager has to talk to the owner and get approval, but then again they're playing telephone with your
Yeah.
information and they're
And
never
so
going to be
then
as
it is like,
enthusiastic.
yeah, at that point, it's really important for you to have something to leave behind that then they can take and give to the owner, saying, this seems amazing. Here's what it's all about. Here's how much it costs. Like, here's what the ROI we can see in that. Like, what are the questions the owner's going to have? And that again brings me back to just like, try and focus on one thing so that you can have that dialed in. Like Jason shared inside of that document a link to a pitch deck. Everybody's going to have to change that a little bit with their own brand voice, and making sure they're speaking to the right audience, right? So, I mean, high level in general doesn't have great white video or what are they called?
White
White
label.
labeled video sales videos and demos and stuff. And that's because every single person using the system is selling something a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
Um,
So
so
oh yeah, I'm gonna just say like there was Brian said he has a great place where he can get all the contacts, restaurants, contact lists that are opening and new. That sounds awesome. I'd love to chat with you about that because that's really cool. And then Courtney was saying in terms of reaching out on LinkedIn as more of a B2B meeting place and So Jason said he hasn't been on LinkedIn in about 15 years. Which is fine. I mean, we LinkedIn has changed a lot. It's actually really crazy what LinkedIn has done lately. And it's a lot more social. It's a lot more like Facebook in general. So it's actually a great way to pitch your services there as well. I'm gonna post a link in the chat here as well. I use I have a subscription here to findthatlead.com, which is pretty good. And this pulls in directly from LinkedIn. So you put in your name, you put in your information, you put in your industry, you put in who you're looking for, and then it will do a search and it'll bring you back a list of businesses, restaurants, managers, for whatever niche that you're in. It works pretty good. And it'll give you like emails and phone numbers for those people as well. It's pretty decent. It's not the best thing that's out there, but it's a way to generate your own list of customers, and then you can segment by city and everything like that as well. So if you want to give that a shot, I don't have like any kind of link for it or whatever, but we got like a lifetime deal through AppSumo years and years and years ago, and I use that every once in a while to
Mhm.
generate a list.
I think too, we spend a lot of money to be a part of a lot of different masterminds, high level and related or not. And I can tell you that there are thousands and thousands of people every day scraping email lists, sending out cold emails, sending out cold DMs, all of that bullshit. And small business owners are so sick of it. Like, I don't know if you guys have actually owned a brick and mortar business, a real business. And I say that because they're spending a lot of money on overhead and it's serious. They're not just waking up and sitting at a computer like we are with very little overhead. Let's be real. And they're getting the same messages all day long, every day that are like, would you like 10 more leads in your whatever? Would you like to what all of that? And so that's why we are really, myself especially, I think it's really important to just go and have some real conversations with some real people instead of trying to mess with all of this
One
other
one
stuff
one of
too,
one
right?
of the things that's going to do though too is, especially if you're newer to high level or you're breaking into a niche or you're trying to get into a niche, is you're going to have those real conversations with people and find out what their actual problems are, and you'll learn more about who they are, what they're going through, what problems they have, and how you guys can fix those problems. So getting the meeting is the first thing, but then going out and actually have that conversation
Yeah.
is the next step. So, Shan, what was the next thing here on the docket today that you wanted to chat about?
Okay.
I just
So
want to say real quick
Oh
though,
yeah,
yeah,
go
Jason.
I did have a restaurant for about a year and a half.
Nice.
One of the reasons why I'm here is because I did realize I didn't know anything about marketing. And I did get like all of a sudden like emails and stuff from people. And I did eventually talk to someone that actually came in, but it was because they had I guess they had to deal with the building or whatever to come in. But I ended up talking to someone that actually came into the building to talk to me rather
Yeah.
than like clicking on stuff. And I will say that like people do want like when you own a business, you're really kind of focused on when I'm running a restaurant, I'm really focused on my inventory and focused
yeah,
on
Absolutely.
my kitchen and how to get this food there to the people and a certain process. I didn't have a lot of time to actually focus and study what business was besides, well, I'll just throw a bunch of money at Facebook or whatever. Or I did
yeah,
have a company I talked to and I'm like, I don't know, they're like, oh, give us, a couple $1,000s, which is kind of like us in a way. But the thing with them was that like once they got the money, like I didn't know what was happening and there wasn't really
yeah,
a lot of customer service. So that's one of the things that I do want to do differently. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm the guy. You can call me every day if you want. Well,
yeah,
don't call me every day, but you can call me all the time. And if you're having a problem, I'm going to try to be here to help you solve, that problem. I know you can only do that for a small amount of customers. The
yeah,
other thing I want to say was that like part of the reason why I did get onto you guys' program was because of the smaller tickets, like not the 4,000, 5,000, $6,000 tickets, but because there are a lot of businesses that will not even look at spending $5,000, but they will look
Right.
at 300 or spending
Yeah.
$400, like the rewards, whatever. And there's a lot of those.
Yeah.
that are around that are willing to do that. So that's one reason why I jumped on with you guys, because it's actually something I was looking for. I was building workflows like myself, trying to build it actually, and then
Yeah.
I came across you guys.
Well, I just talked to, yeah, I appreciate that.
Love it.
Absolutely. Thanks. I was just talking with a restaurant owner the other day, and or he's got a couple of restaurants as well, and he manages restaurants too. And he said one of the biggest problems that he's had with marketing agencies that have come in and talked with him in the past, and one of the reasons why he really likes the look of what we've built in high level, so he's using high level as well. Um, is that the other agencies that he's worked with in the restaurants that he's owned and managed and run, is that they're not focusing on leads. There are a lot of them are coming in and saying, "Hey, we'll do your Instagram for you. We'll do your social media for you. We'll do these posts." And I mean, even with one of the clients that we're working with, they have somebody working on their Instagram and stuff like that, and then they're charging them to run ads, but they're just boosting posts with that too. So it's not, they're not doing a lot for it to bring in new customers. Now, what he said, and then that was really frustrating for him, because you couldn't tell, okay, well, we got this much engagement on this post on Instagram kind of thing, but it didn't necessarily translate directly into customers or sales. Now, one of the things that we've realized running our business, is our agency, is that reporting is so crucial, is to tell customers, tell the restaurant, tell the business, hair salon, fitness business, whatever it is, how their things are doing, because they don't know. And when they don't know how their things are doing, they'll feel frustrated and then they'll cancel. And it's even if their things are going great, even if their things are going great, they've got customers coming in, all that kind of thing. But if you don't show them the reporting and say, this is how many redemptions we've had, how many coupons, how many leads we generated, how many customers have come in, and all that kind of stuff, they just assume that it's all happening magically or
Yeah,
something
they'll
like
never
that.
relate
There,
that back to you, no matter what. They'll
yeah.
never say, like,
There's
you're
there's a
doing,
great quote from Frank Kern, because they had their whole ad system that they were running, and he's like, because they have the same thing where their customers would come up and say, you know what? I don't know if we need to run ads anymore. I can't tell if it's you guys or if we're just doing better, you know?
yeah,
And it's
that's
like,
so
no,
funny.
your business didn't magically start doing better on its own, regard just around the same time that we started running ads.
Another thing is
Totally.
that like I would say, like when I had like a ghost kitchen, so like 85% of my customers were digital, like
Yeah.
like and like Uber Eats and DoorDash and stuff. So first of all, those people take 30% of your revenue. Second of all, the most important thing is you don't own, you don't have your customer contacts. You don't own the contact.
No,
So one of the biggest things with the rewards program is I think that you should also sell your clients on is the fact that now they have customer information, and now you
yeah,
have automation, and now you can send out it's customer retention, and you can say when you have
Yeah.
sales, when you, if you have if you're typically restaurants are slower on Mondays, Tuesdays. So now you can send out to all your people in your rewards program that have shared it, 5% off Mondays between this and that time, 10% off Mondays between this time, to build your clientele during your slow things. But the most important thing is having control of the conversation and the information that you have between you and your clients.
Yeah,
yeah,
I like to say that we're building a captive audience of loyal fans. We're building this captive audience that we control of loyal fans, so that we're not relying on social media, and we're not relying on algorithms, and we're not relying on paid ads. Because yeah, those things start to work and then they stop working, and then things change, and then it's you're relying on all the different people. And Brian said it perfectly. Like, part of our system here too, and we've got graphics which I'll share this week as well, which are little just drop cards. Every Uber Eats order, every DoorDash, everything like that, put in a little business card with your QR code so they can scan and they can become a VIP member.
I know there's rules around that too. Um,
But it's,
but
if you're doing it, they're not, nobody's actually checking if you're dropping in those cards. or
Yeah, if as
not,
long as it's
right?
not digital, as long as it's not on their site or anything, they can't see
Yeah,
anything
Yeah,
about that.
it's just a card you're throwing into
yeah.
the thing, and get.
Totally. And that's why I think understanding the pain points and where these businesses are at, right? A restaurant has different pain points and frustrations than a salon has. It's just a
Yeah.
different type of business. Their profit comes from different places, right? So it's today, pick that one type of business and really think about what you can offer, what's a simple, repetitive thing that you can just get your foot in the door with. And then it's all right to say, hey, once we get this set up, we can start driving traffic if you're interested in that. We can talk about other ways to grow your business if you're open to that conversation. Would that be okay with you? Instead
Yeah.
of just being a yes man and being like, yes, yes, everything, everything, everything all at once. It doesn't work.
Well,
I don't
yeah.
care who you are.
The problem with saying yes to everything is that they don't. We've had this. I mean, I can't count the number of people that we've had come into our agency and say they want everything. I want to do Facebook ads. I want Instagram. I want YouTube. I want all that. And then you give them a quote for like 20K, 30K, and they're like, "What?"
Yeah, like holy shit.
I want to do it all, but I only want to spend like $500.
Yeah, so
So,
start off and whatever. So
yeah.
can I
So
share
I want to answer
um
one question because Jeffrey
yeah,
asked, "What makes the loyalty and rewards program so much better than the same old shit? I'll build you a free website, or I'll help businesses generate 10 extra leads a month." Most
that
of the
was a
businesses that
comment.
we're
That was
talking
a that
about,
was a comment. That was a comment, not a question.
oh, it wasn't a question.
He missed the
No.
word.
Uh,
He missed the word is. What makes
Yeah.
local rewards
oh,
Yeah,
program
okay,
but
is.
it is. I think it is. It's so much more special
yeah,
that, I
okay,
mean, if you guys just take a look at your news feed as what a small business owner or a
yeah.
regular business owner, not a digital marketer, and think about what that looks like
Just a
from their point of
brick and
view,
mortar.
it's so gross. Like,
Well,
you
that's where
know,
our experience comes from too, is because we've owned hair salons, we've owned those kind of things, and we kind of understand what's going on in the back end there. So everybody's busy. Everybody's busy. They don't know what to do because they're focused on their trade, their skill, their task. So they're looking for you to come in as an advisor. And I truly believe that right now, coming out of COVID, everybody's doing everything remotely for the last 3 or 4 years. People like to flip-flop on how they experience things. That's why you have like the whole like even politically you switch back and forth from different parties and stuff like that. Oh, we had these guys for a while, we're going to switch back to those guys. We're going to do this. People want something new and they haven't experienced it for a long time. That's why I like all of the when you can bring in stuff that's like vintage feels great. That's why it's coming back to analog, talking to people in person, talking to people not just on a phone. I mean, there's definitely a place for it, and lots of times we do local calls with businesses, but they like to deal with local still. That's one of the complaints that we hear, especially up here in Canada, is that, yeah, I get pitched this stuff all the time, but it really feels good to work with somebody locally because everyone who's pitching me is somewhere else in the world. And I like to just have the opportunity, even if we're just meeting remotely on Zoom, they like the opportunity to know that that person is a few miles away and they can talk to them and they can come in if they want to. So it just feels good. So, okay. Um, if you have a technical
uh,
question, we're not doing technical stuff today. Today is just, yeah, about the 21-day challenge, but I can answer that for you afterwards. If you want to just send me a Loom video or send me a message on Facebook, I'm happy to answer that, Jason. Okay. So Shan, what do we do to wrap this thing up for today?
I'm going to quickly run through our tracking sheet that I've been using for years that I absolutely love and quickly show you my process for finding new businesses to reach out to if you guys are cool with that. And then what I'm going to do is I'll send out a recap email later on with links to all these different resources. And then I think we can call it. Yeah?
Yeah.
What
Okay.
do you guys think? Are you guys cool with that? Can you make it so I can share my screen?
You should be able to just, yeah.
Oh, okay. Bum, ba, ba. Okay,
Yeah.
can you see a spreadsheet? A
Yes.
magical spreadsheet. Do you guys love spreadsheets? I do. Okay, hang on. I've got too many things going on here. Okay, so I'm going to quickly run through this and then I can actually share the link in chat. Just make yourself a copy.
And then put it in the doc as well.
Yeah, I will. Okay, so where's chat? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Been a long ass time since we've done this. Yeah, so we're gonna send like proposals, templates, the reviews pitch deck, all of that stuff out today for you. I just wanted to quickly run through this first on the call. Okay, so I've obviously, as you can see, got a bunch that I use that are filled in with information that I can show you, but I created a nice new blank one here. So just go under file, click on file, and make yourself a copy. You shouldn't be able to edit this one. So this is your weekly KPI tracking here. So this is like how many calls you've made, how many emails you sent. Again, like we talked about on Monday, it's just like your money map, but in a spreadsheet, right? Have you attended any networking events? How many messages have you sent on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram? Any friends that you've added on social media? You should be doing that. How many appointments you've booked, how many deals you've signed, and what the revenue you got from that. Just a nice way to keep track weekly of where you're at. Leads tracking, this is where we more specifically will put in the name of an actual lead that you've reached out to, any information there. And this is my favorite tab, business research. So all you really need to do, honestly, it doesn't matter if you're looking for restaurants, if you're looking for landscaping companies, salons, fitness, whatever that may be. The number one thing that I really recommend that you do, I was creeping on James Hurst yesterday because he put Jason in his top 50 whatever that thing was, and he did like a whole video all about Jason and power tools. Jay, did you know that?
Yeah, I did. I was just waiting for it right
Okay,
now. I was gonna share it out.
so basically the first thing that you want to do is search, let's just say, I know Brian is getting into like power sports in his area, in power sports marketing. So power sports Kelowna. Okay, so now Facebook. Facebook has been around as a free tool for how many years? The reason for that is that they've now collected all the data any business needs, right? We can look up all the different types of businesses. There's obviously in Kelowna just power sports. There's maybe a couple of other ones. Here we go, all these different things. I would just start clicking and following all these different types of the same type of business. Instantly the algorithm is going to start feeding you posts from those businesses and ads from those businesses, like instant. So it is amazing. No matter where you are, then you don't need to be in front of your computer. You can have one of the messages, pre-written outreach message, while you're sitting like me in your car waiting for your kid to finish hockey. You can just start sending people messages as they're falling into your news feed. Beautiful. If you click on people, this is where you're going to start seeing, the general sales manager at Kelowna Power Sports, add people as friends, send them a message. Yeah, so that's pretty straightforward. Then we could go to groups. And this is where you're going to start to see, that's a pretty small niche in the area that I'm in. But this is where you're going to see like a small business groups that you can start to join, groups that are business owners related to like landscaping business owners, right? In this one, I've got like hair salon business owners, salon owners, like groups that I post in. Okay, so this is where we're going to put a specific business. Let's go over to Google and let's use Power Sports as an example. I keep spelling it wrong though. Okay, so here we can see their website. We're going to put their website URL in. We're going to put notes about their website. So we'll go there next, but we're going to look and see they've got reviews. And I like to look and see when their newest review was 6 days ago. They're not super frequent reviews. That's a really good pain. They're a really good thing that we could talk to them about. Like, hey, what if you got new reviews every day? You would start ranking on Google quicker, blah, 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 right? So let's head over to their website. Okay. We see that there is a chat widget here. We could easily test it and see what they say. If there's a quick response back, whatever. All right, just take a look and see what their systems are like that they've already got set up in their business before you get on a call with them and start trying to talk to them about things that maybe they already have set up, right? Or that they think they've already got set up, but maybe you could make better. So this is where you're going to make any of those notes, link to their Facebook page. So let's go check out their Facebook page. Okay, you'd copy that link if you wanted to. What we're looking for here is just how often are they posting? What is their engagement like? Things like that, right? But number one, we want to go under about right here. Go to page transparency. And you can see this page is currently running ads. So we're going to click to see what they're running. Now, this is an amazing tool, right? If you're planning on running any ads, go and look to see what other restaurants are running as ads, what other salons are running as ads, whatever the niche is.
I was going to say that you can even do that with if they're running an offer in their ad as well, without even joining or waiting to see their ad. If you're doing prospecting and looking for businesses on Facebook, you can go to see if they're running ads. And if they're running an ad for an offer, you can say, hey, that's an awesome offer. Again, can we share that? You know, that's
that's who would I talk to about sharing this offer? Or what I find inside of my news feed, I get hammered with ads because I spend a good hour a day doing this, but in all the different niche specific spreadsheets that I have. So I've got like Stylist Nation, I've got fitness, I've got landscaping, I've got restaurants. And so I feed the algorithm with what I want. And most ads right now are being run by the business owner and they're messenger ads. So you click on it, it just goes directly to Messenger and there's no follow-up at all, right? So there's a really good just sending a message saying like, hey, I'm interested in this offer, and then not hearing back. And then you pick up the phone and say, hey, you know, I am interested in this thing, but also you didn't get back to me. So you can see right here, this business has been running the one same ad since November 13th. And it's just a very generic ad. And this one's been running since October. You know, so here's an offer that they had, like $1,000 off a dirt bike, whatever. So like, just go and check out and see what they're running. Are they running ads? That's a really good indicator that they will be open to more marketing. They don't want any leaky holes in their bucket, right? If they're spending money on ads, if they're spending money on marketing, then let's make sure that that's effective for them. So then I just make notes, go along, Google how many reviews, links to their ads or any offers that they've got, phone number. So then I reach out, I put the date that I reached out, then I continue to follow up. Now, you can probably set that stuff up inside of High Level as well, right? And have inside of your own pipeline and do that. Facebook groups, same thing. I just do the research and find, Kelowna, small business. Oh, whoops, sorry. I'm sure you guys get the gist of this. Anyway, click search. Okay, and now look at all these different groups that you can now join and post in and answer questions to and comment. So I just like to keep a list of groups to post in, and then I just keep track of when I've posted. I like to look to see, how many posts there have been. Some groups are very dead and some groups are way more active. So take a look at that. If it's a pumping group, then that's awesome. Okay, so then in this tab here, I do have some messaging that you can take and copy and use if you want. I just change the wording, obviously. I don't normally do this, but thought I would reach out. I live here in Kelowna and run a marketing agency. My husband's built some new software that I'd love to chat with you about, blah, 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 blah. There's all different types of messages inside of here. This is a really good post that you could use when you join new groups, like, you just curious, do you guys find Google reviews important for your business? Like, start conversations, right? This is where I'm going to add links to all of our different pitch decks. I'm going to put links to Canva templates for social media posts that you can take and use to track businesses. And the other thing here that I think is really important is just, are there local networking events going on linked? Put that down. What Brian said in the chat earlier about connecting with other businesses that deal with those businesses. So he mentioned, suppliers for restaurants, like people that are already selling to restaurants. What kind of referral system can you create for other people who you can partner with and align within your business? Start yourself a list of, like, Jay, what was it called? Your Hot 100, I think, was some,
Yeah, it's a top 100. Yeah.
Your dream 100 people that you'd like to work with. I like to always have kind of a space for that inside of every spreadsheet that I do. And so, yeah, you're to spend like a good hour a day just doing some outreach, doing a little bit more research, popping into these groups. I like to stay out of the news feed as much as possible. It's distracting. I find it's triggering for me, honestly. So I like to just have a list of links to groups to pop into. Then you can search inside of groups for different things. So, the high level group, I go in there once every couple days and I search reviews and look to see if somebody is searching as post about reviews or loyalty or rewards or whatever. But you can search these groups for different posts, right? So, like, business owner groups, they're asking about POS systems. They're asking about all of that stuff. And so it's a good way to get in front of more people and start that conversation. Yeah, I tried to keep that quick. I tried to get it out fast.
No, I think that's good, using social media to get people that way, and then sending out messages to I think it is a great way. Just know that if you're sending out social media posts, or if you're just sending out cold media posts, or you're sending out DMs, if you're sending out emails, it's about volume. All this is about volume. Reach out to more customers. The more customers you reach out to, the more businesses you're going to get. The more businesses you reach out to, the more customers you're going to get. So just keep reaching out to them. It's a numbers game. And the more you do it, like, don't get discouraged if you send out 5 messages or you go to talk to 5 businesses and they're like, no, thank you. Just keep up with it, and you're going to hone in on what you need to say and what you need to message. And it's a numbers game. Just keep hitting them and contacting them, and you'll get more customers out of that for sure. So just remember, it's all test, right? Everything that we do is a test. We see how things go, and so just stay stay testing. Stay
Yeah.
testing, my friends.
We want to be mindful of everybody's time. It's a lot. It's hard for me
Yeah.
to sit here for more than an hour too. My just ADD kicks in. I'm like, but I will send out resources today. Friday, we're going to drop a demo that will be live. We're going to have everything hooked up and live. A phone number will be live, so you can just actually take it and use it if you want to. That will be really exciting. And
Yeah.
again, a lot of it is geared towards restaurants because that's easy and that's there. But you can always take these tools and change them
But
for
even, yeah,
whatever
even like
industry you
if
want.
you're looking at our restaurant snapshot, I know a lot of people already have that. But bakeries, any kind of repeat business, where people are keep coming in, bakeries, breweries, pubs, restaurants, diners, like all those kind of things, coffee shops. Danica actually had an interesting thing.
I'm just reading that right now. That should be its
So
own call on its own.
you know, it's funny because so Danica wrote, as a husband and wife team, like you, my husband and I are trying to build a team. Can you share your background or the magic formula that makes your partnership successful? We've been doing it for a long time.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
and and
I quit the business probably once a month, honestly, because I'm just like, I can't.
you know, it was interesting
It's
when
not,
COVID happened and a lot of people started having to spend time with their partners at home or you know working together. It was really interesting to see that happen. But um you know some of the best conversations we have are her sitting in her office and me on my office doing a Zoom call with
yeah,
each other and talking to each other that way or over the phone. If I'm driving around or doing stuff like that, we have conversations that way about what we want to do and what we want to build and those kind of things and just kind of understanding that you both have different ways of seeing things. Like we absolutely do. Like yeah, we have absolutely different ways of processing information and how we want to see information or a project laid out. Like I like flow charts and stuff like that. I like to see a flow chart of how things all connect together. Shandell likes more lists of things. And it depends on what it is, but we all have our different ways of doing that. So being patient and learning how to communicate with each other is probably like the biggest thing of having any kind of partner in business in life there. So I think that's one of the biggest things that we learn. And then just also learning that it's not always business time either, is so
yeah,
that you're not always talking about business. Like um I mean, it's all right to talk about it, but then just like Shan will ask me, is it okay if we talk about work right now? And like, yeah, okay. So then just to prepare me, so it's not like we're just doing something and then it's like, hey, I got to ask you about these 15 questions about work, and then I feel like I'm
yeah.
being grilled about something. So,
Yeah, I'm still pretty bad for that because I will just he'll be having coffee in the morning and I'm like, what about this? And what about that? And what about that? And what about that? Did you answer this email?
oh
This
yeah, Courtney
person's
and
having a
Danica,
problem,
nice.
whatever. But I think the other thing is too with building a team in general, right? Clockwork is a really good book to read. Clockwork is amazing and it's all about choosing your role, like picking your lane and sticking to your lane. Like I can't do a lot of the things that Jason does. And I don't need to because he's got that under control, right? It's
Mhm.
choosing, they call it the queen bee role. Like, what is your role that is only yours and that everybody else is going to take everything else off your plate so that you can do that one thing, right?
And
Um,
Shan's definitely working more on outreach and messaging and follow up, that kind of thing. And then yeah, like so for example, we had a meeting with a client today. I was like, I can't do that meeting. So then she did the meeting on her own, but we don't always have to be both in the meeting and just kind of yeah, just trying to figure out what you're both working at and then have I mean it's hard for us. We're not the best at it, but having like a morning 15 minutes or something like that where you chat about what's going on for the day kind of thing before you
Yeah.
split up. And then yeah, we have offices on the opposite ends of the house too. I'm down in the basement, she's up on the third floor. So
Yeah. Yeah. And then I think too, just figuring out, there's little things that, yeah, exactly like Jason said, everybody takes information in a different way. I use Asana, like I use a project management software, even just for things, finances, things that are going on with our family, like Hendrix's birthday is coming up. This is his birthday board or whatever, right?
and I
Jason
can't
is just
stand
like,
Asana.
what the fuck is this? Like,
I look
I
in
don't
there
know
and
what
I'm
this
like,
is.
I don't
Like,
understand
so
this
I
at
will
all.
just be like, this is what's happening tomorrow,
So
kind of thing. But
yeah.
it's working together as a couple in the house is weird. It's hard. It can be hard. Yes, the book Clockwork. Yeah. You know what? Jason would just keep building and building and building and building and building, like down there, or painting or making something or what. Like he's always doing all the weird things, creating. And I'm more of a project manager type. Like I need things to be organized and I need to
Yeah.
know, like, yeah, that our outreach is done, things are happening, right? And then, like, if a support email comes in and he doesn't answer it right away, my one armpit starts sweating. I'm like, have you responded to so and so? And I'll ask him at the weirdest times.
Yeah.
So he'll be having supper. And I'm like, have you messaged Jason back yet to make sure that he's got what he needs to set up a snapshot, whatever. Yeah, it's funny. It's pretty funny. Yeah, grab Clockwork if you have any sort of a team. And I really want to dive into that later on this month too, is how you can hire a VA and use SOPs and just start handing out some of these things off too. Because when
Yeah.
when you're really busy doing all the things, that doesn't help either. So
Okay. Yeah.
that's
Well,
it.
yeah, I appreciate you guys for hanging out with us for another day. We're gonna do another one here on Friday, and then yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the next 2 weeks here, 3 weeks now. And then yeah, if there's any questions you guys have tech wise, tech calls are Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. PST. So jump on there and we'll help you with your systems and stuff as well. So yeah, look forward to talking to you guys either tomorrow or Friday. And you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and we'll get all the things that we're promising out to you, so that you guys can have some reference material and move forward. So make a plan
Yeah.
with your guys' self that you guys are going to find some customers, see who you want to reach out to, and then make some phone calls, stop in, stuff like that. I'm going to cover in a future call here. I'm going to cover the donut drop off method, which is a really good one as well. And I look forward to chatting with you guys again.
Yeah, if there's anything else we can do, let us know. Post in the group. Okay, bye
All right,
guys. I'm
cool.
going.
All right, take
Thank you.
care. Bye.
Awkward goodbye.
It's only
Okay.
awkward if you make it awkward.